Hello and welcome to this demo video for the multiple project manager. Um, this one was surprisingly difficult to make for a fairly simple spreadsheet. I'll show you how it works. Um, let's start on the settings page. The reason for the spreadsheet is essentially if you've got a whole lot of projects to manage, then this doesn't necessarily have to be a project, but you would have a process to the work that you do. So, for argument's sake, if your first stage of your process is to send the client a quote, and then your next stage is to collect information from the client, and then your next stage is to produce whatever it is they've asked you to produce, and then the next stage is to send the client a draft version and get them to sign it off, so on. Everyone follows a process to the work that they do, and the reason for this is just to monitor that process, to warn you when something's due, and to let you keep on top of the process that you're following for all your different projects. So let me go through the instructions, the setup page. First of all, your company name will be in there. If you purchased the full product, your business name will already be in there. You can't change that for security reasons. If you download the trial version, you can put your name in there. Exclude weekends and bank holidays. If you select the tick mark there, what that means is that the spreadsheet will take into consideration bank holidays. So if you say the process should take 1 day and it's a Friday, then it will go over to the Monday, not over to the Saturday. So to exclude weekends and bank holidays, what that means is it won't count in weekend and bank holidays. If you working throughout Monday to Sunday and bank holidays and you don't care what day it is, then mark this with a cross, because then what it'll do is it'll include every day. All right, that's the first thing. The other thing is there's a number of days notice and tasks. Tasks will say, listen, on the spreadsheet will say, listen, this task is now our notice, it needs to be done. You can select how many days before the due date that will actually show up. So you can have that as 5 days. I mean, it all depends. If your tasks are taking on average 3 days, you don't want to have 3 days warning. You only want to maybe have 1 day warning. If your tasks are taking 3 weeks, you may want to have 5 days warning. That's up to you. You can put in the number of days before it becomes due. That will show that as needing to be done. This will obviously take your selection here into consideration. Next thing is this tab here, project stages. You can name up to 15 different stages. You can put in, I've just put stage 1, stage 2, but as I said before, this might be send client quote, get updated details, or whatever it might be. You can name all the different stages. The red cells are ones where you fill in things, the green ones will automate. So you can name all the different stages. The next thing are flexible tasks. Now, flexible tasks, this is probably something that made the spreadsheet so confusing, but it's very, very handy. Is this task a flexible task? And what it means by flexible task is this. You may have stage 1, stage 2. These might be stages that you are doing in-house to send client a quote, which you want to do within a certain number of days. But there might be something which you send to the client. So for example, you may send the client a proof and get them to sign it off. Now, although you maybe only assign them 4 days to do that, they may take 6 weeks. They may take 3 years. I mean, clients don't always get back to you when you want them to. So that will be out of your control, which means that you still completed the project on time, but they took too long. That is one of the times when you select the tick, because what that means is stage 2 is going to be expected so many days after stage 1, and so on and so forth. So stage 1 will be expected 2 days after the beginning of the project. Stage 2 will be expected 3 days after that. Stage 3, then because I've ticked it, it'll put stage 4 on hold until you finish stage 3, and then it'll start the countdown for stage 4. Whereas the other ones, it doesn't matter whether you finish, it starts the countdown anyway. So if you're running behind, it'll put all your tasks behind, but if you get one of those stages where it says it's a flexible task, it won't start requiring the next one until this one's finished. So this one will only come 3 days after stage 3 has been completed. So if you want it to be a flexible task, click it. If you don't, leave it blank. If you tick it, it means that it'll hold the next task until this one's finished, regardless of how long this one takes. And if you don't tick it, it'll just request one after the other. So that's how that works. This is just a description showing you what these days mean based on your selection here. And this is just to show you that you've got all of the information. Make sure you put the tasks in order, one below the other. Now, there's one thing to remember here, which is very important. If you put these 4 tasks, because that's your only 4 tasks that you do, and then later on, you go, okay, well, actually, I want to insert a task here. So task 3 changes name, task 4, and so on. It will change the tasks on your projects, but it won't actually change the dates you've put in for them. So you've got to remember that if you've got existing projects in your current project list, it won't change the information on there, and in fact on your completed list as well. So if you do want to add stages in, you may end up having to actually restart the whole thing again, because otherwise, you're going to have stage 3, which is change names, but all the dates that you've got in your current projects will be for the old stage 3. So it won't. You really need to be getting this sorted out before you start the project. If you do go and change this too drastically, it might just be a case of actually having to just restart the projects again with the new project stages. You can save as many of these spreadsheets as you want, so don't worry about that. But just be in mind, you don't want to be changing these once you've already started putting project dates in. So you want to get this sorted first and foremost. They're the 2 links for this video. They're both the same video, but you've got 2 places where you can watch them. Okay, now bank holidays. If you've selected bank holidays, or even if you haven't, it will bring up all the UK bank holidays. So because we're in 2018 now, it brings up 2017, 2018, and 2019, because you need to be, obviously looking ahead, forecasting, and obviously what's in the past as well, to a certain extent. So I've got 3 years worth of bank holidays there from the UK, and 3 years from the US, which is formulated for the different things. So you don't have to put those in. If you've got other custom bank holidays, or if you're in another country, you can in fact put the custom bank holidays in there, and then all you do is you select which of these you want to be using. So I've selected yes, use UK, don't use custom, don't use, sorry, that should be US. So you select UK, don't include US, and don't include custom holidays. Now, obviously, if you've selected no here, it's going to disregard whatever you select here. But if you selected yes there, then this needs to go selected as well, which of these bank holidays you want to include. Then you've got your job completion, job success. All this is your on your reports. You look at your current projects. These change color depending on your success rate. You can put your job completion. Where is the point that they turn red, yellow, and green, and where is the point to turn red, yellow, and green for your job success? That's just a setting. You can leave that as it is, but you may go, well, actually 80% is where I want it to go yellow, and 100% and 60, anything below 60% is red. You can choose where you want those settings. All right, once you've done the setup page, I think that's all for the setup page. Yeah, that's a lot for that. Once you've done that, you can go to your current projects. So what happens on the current project list? Well, all you do is, remember, the red sections we're filling in, the green sections we're not. So all you do is you come over here and you say job 3. Here goes job progress, 0%. You haven't done anything on the job. That's fair enough. Now it asks you for your starting date. Now, this is the starting date of the project, obviously, and as soon as you put this date in, so if you put in today's date, 20th of March, you can see there it says almost due, because in that's 2 days. If you scroll across, you can see here that on the 22nd of March, something's due. That's obviously 2 days. It's also to show us 3 days beforehand. So now you say there's something almost due on the 22nd of March. So you can scroll across to see stage 1. Your stage 1 name will be in there, due 22nd of March. So now all you do is, when you do it, is to say you do it on 21st of March, you click in there, it goes green to say that it was done on time, completed on time. If you did it on the 23rd of March, it will go light green to say that it was completed late. So you can see which ones have been completed late, which ones have been completed on time as you fill in the dates. Otherwise, you can see down here by the job numbers where they are, where the next task is. So overdue, or due today, almost due, so on and so forth. So you can see immediately these jobs where you've got tasks due. There is another page, instead of having to scroll across here to see, okay, I've done it like this for a reason. I did initially put due, complete, but then it was difficult to get rid of completed jobs onto the completed job project, and you couldn't sort it and all this kind of thing. So it was a bit of a hassle. So I've done it now with the completed jobs all together, so you just put the dates in. If you'd like to actually go, well, I can't scroll down here all the time looking at all these to see where the different tasks are, that's no problem whatsoever. There's a list of the tasks. So if you click on your task list, you can see number 1, 2, 3, these are the most important ones. It'll bring all the overdue ones to the top, almost done, next, so on and so forth. So it basically brings these dates, the due date of the next task into order. So you can actually see all your most urgent work at the top. So for example, job 1, stage 4 is now overdue. It should have been done on the 16th of March. It's now the 20th. If you go to current projects, you go to job 1, stage 4, and actually you go, well, it should have been on the 16th, but it's done today, the 20th of March. Now all of a sudden it goes, yes, job progress, you're 100% complete on your set tasks, you're 100% complete on your flexible tasks. Remember, the flexible tasks were those that we said your client needed to do whatever, you couldn't be in control of that. You can see here your set tasks, was it done on time? No, they weren't. Your flexible tasks, yes, they were done on time. Your job success, your set task was 67% on time, 100%. Obviously, it was just this last one that wasn't on time, but that was the final one, so that's why your project wasn't actually done on time. So you can see there how that kind of thing works. And again, here, if you go, well, these two are coming up that are due. If I have a look at the job 2, let me just show you back again. When you go back onto your task list, you can see now that one's gone because it's bringing them in just in the list of priorities, of urgencies. Up at the top here it says page 1 of 1. You got 2 entries in total. In theory, this goes down to 25. So if you had 26 tasks that were now due, you could actually go here and just select page 2, and then what it'll do is it'll show you from number 26 onwards. But we don't have any, so there's nothing there. So we'll just go back to page 1. Just remember, if you do set it to page 2 and you forget about it, I've made it go yellow to warn you that you're not on the first page, because obviously page 1 will be where all the urgent ones are. You can also show which tasks to show. So you can say, just show me both lots of tasks, or just show me the fixed tasks, the set tasks, or just show me the flexible tasks. So you can see here, you can select here which ones you actually want to show on this list. So that is the task list of what's up to date. As you update it in here, put in the completion date from each one. It then rectifies, changes all these other stats. Your project report is very simple. This project report is for individual projects. So if you come here and you select, actually, I'd like to see what's going on with job 2, it pulls it in. It shows you the start date. It shows you all your different project stages. Flexible as you got. It shows you the due date for all of them. It shows you the completed date. It shows you the status of each of those ones. Your process, job success, completed on time, your results, all the rest of it. And it also shows you a completed stages breakdown. So it says here, the green ones here are stage 1. So stage 1, you used that time, but you went over time, hence the red. You used over allowance. Stage 2, you finished on time. Stage 4 is showing you that you've used over allowance. Sometimes if you do it in a shorter time, you'll see there's a lighter green bit here. So it'll say you had more allowance, but you didn't use all of it. So you can just have a look at these colors and see what that means. But that's your report. You can select any project that's on your current projects list there. So that's the first thing. The second thing is your overall report. You can have a play around with this and see what's going on, but essentially it gives you all different stages. What's your average days taken current on your completed list, your current list, your completed list, your pass rate, and you can see here exactly average length of jobs compared to allocated time on both the different lists. So how long the jobs have been taken. So you can see if you're taking too long on the jobs. What you can do then is you can come back to your intro setup and you can actually change these days. And if you change the days here, so you allow more days, more time for whichever stage you want, when you come to your project report, so your overall project report, it will change those days here and it'll actually change these stats. So then you'll see actually you passed. So if, for example, stage 2 is causing an issue because it's taking you too long, if you then go and take that to 4 or 5 days and you come back here, you'll be able to see your success rate here. It'll change accordingly. So then, for argument's sake, here you're only finishing half the jobs the first stage. If you went and changed current projects and your info and setup, and you said, well, let's change this to 4 days, and then you go back to your overall report, you see now you've got a 100% pass rate on that. So you can alter them in order to actually make sure you've got the correct pass rate. Just bear in mind that that will change all of your current jobs accordingly. Overall report, there you go back in. There's your job success, flexible tasks, set tasks, and so on and so forth. When you go down here, you can see your current job breakdown. So the current jobs, how many are almost due today, overdue, so on and so forth. You can see a breakdown. You can also see a breakdown of jobs completed on time, jobs completed late, or flexible ones done on time versus flexible ones that were done late. And at the bottom here, the last thing, you can just see set tasks on the current projects tab, flexible tasks. There's a percentage of jobs completed within assigned time. So obviously we've only done one, so it's showing up like that. But you'll be able to see what percentage of jobs is completed on time. Now these graphs, if you go and change your current projects, these settings here may well change, but on your completed projects, when you put one across, we'll show you, they'll be over here. They're not going to change if you change your time period that you allow for each of the different jobs. And I'll show you why, because now we've got a completed job here, for example. So let's remove this completed job. If we highlight the whole, not the whole row, but the whole row within the headers, and we right click and we say copy. Now we go to completed jobs. We go here and we say paste values. Not normal paste, that'll mess it up. You want to paste values. Paste values. So now you can sort by any of these columns, because this isn't actually doing anything really. It's doing one or two calculations, but essentially it's just storing this data as a completed job. So now you can go to your current job, but now you want to remove a current job, but you just highlight the section under the red bits, not the green, and you go right click, you say clear contents. So you've now removed that job, and you can sort from A to Z. So now you remove job 1 from the current projects. Job 1 is now on the completed projects. So now when you go to your overall report, you'll see now there's completed projects, tasks that have been done, and how successful they've been. You've got a different breakdown. These have all changed. You've now got some completed project stats to look at. So some of these stats are coming from the completed projects, and some are coming from the current projects. On your project report, current projects, not completed projects. Completed projects are merely stored data. So that is that in a nutshell. It's fairly straightforward to fill in all the different things, and you can go to on your project on here. It's fairly straightforward as to what those reports are showing you. Just have a look at them when you've got some time and check it out. The main thing to be concerned about is this setup here. You don't want to be messing around with project stages once you've done the project. Because for argument's sake, if I go and add in a stage 5 now, and you say that should take 2 days. Now when you go to your completed jobs, you've got a stage 5, but this one hasn't got a stage 5. So now all of a sudden it throws your data out. So you don't want to be updating this midway through. You want to really get this done at the beginning, done properly. So yeah, get that sorted out at the beginning before you start filling in things. But now it's fairly simple. Fill in the red sections, the green ones will automate. You can see your task list of tasks coming up. So you can select any project and see a report for that project, or you can select your overall projects and see how you're doing on each one, and how successful you're being for your time and that kind of thing. And there's a place to store all of the data from the completed projects, which you can then sort by any of these columns. So you've got all the different data there. But it's not necessarily calculating too much. It's literally just showing you what's happening. So that is the multiple project manager. I hope that's shed some light on how this works. I wish you all the best with this product. Thank you very much. Goodbye.